Hey, everybody. Sorry for the delay, but it's worth the wait. I promise you. I'm Sybil Wilkes from It's Sybil, and my guest today, from the high seas, no less, is the one, the only, the enigmatic, the indubitably talented AJ Jamal. How you doing, my friend?
I'm excellent, and please tell your audience the reason you're late is because of me, because I'm old school. I can't believe I'm worse than George. I, I'm a I'm a technician. I should not have this problem. I'm a technician. I'm an engineer, and I
Yeah.
should be able to hook up a mic and but anyway, I'm doing excellent. I'm out in the middle of the ocean, uh, in this cabin. You would think they put a celebrity in a nice cabin, but I wanted to. I asked for an ocean view, and they gave me a view of the ocean. I'm below sea level. This,
Oh, no.
if I point to my window, you'll see fish looking in my window. The fish is looking at. It's not an ocean view. We're looking at the ocean.
Oh my gosh. AJ, first of all, you are an engineer and you have been on and we saw what an incredible setup you had in your
Right,
home, right? It
right.
was I mean, the
I
lights, the
do.
camera, everything. It was you setting the mood and all of that stuff. And we are just having a heck of a time, but I am putting it on the fact that you are kind enough to come on with us today, and you are at sea. And I think that that is leading to some of the problems we're having.
Right, but we had all of this working. I said, let's do a test run because I
Mhm.
don't like to be messing around.
Right?
And we did a test run. Everything was working. But and that's also like she was talking about my message. This $22,000 new phone I got, is probably just too high tech for me because this phone is. I mean, I went and got the new Galaxy 55,000 or whatever they call it.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then they wanted me to send my phone in and give me $150. I kept my phone. They ain't get my old phone. I got some stuff on it. And you know what's sad when they say you want us to transfer over everything? I say you ain't got to transfer over my nudie pictures.
You're so
You can
silly.
see that with that old phone. That's when I was sending. And I didn't know if when they transfer at T-Mobile, if they can see all the stuff they transfer. I said, no, let's not transfer.
Yeah, there's always one guy in that department who
Right,
gets that job and he really enjoys his work.
right. I got the FBI and T-Mobile carrying me off.
So AJ, are you working at sea?
I, I can't afford to do no cruise. I remember I told my mom and dad, let's go on a cruise. He said all the kids in the car. We went around the block in slow motion. He said, that's y'all cruise. Now get out my car. No, I can't. Yeah, I'm working. I work. The ships are back. So if people want to take a cruise, the best time is to take them now because the ship, although you have to be vaccinated,
Hmm.
and then they test you. They test us, the entertainment. We get tested every 2 days. They put that swab in our nose. So they test us
Wow.
I had a test yesterday. I got to take a test tomorrow. So yeah, but it's the best time for people to come on as passengers because the discounts are amazing. I mean, this is 3,000 seats. We only got 1,500 people. The ship I was
Yeah.
on 2 weeks ago only had 350 people on the whole ship.
Wow, that is something. Well, a lot of
Right.
people are headed out. I know the Joiner cruise is going out next week, so good luck to them as well. But I just am so, technology is amazing, and of course you're a techno genius. But it's just amazing that we're having this conversation. You're underwater.
Right. If you want to know who's standing next door to me, is Engine. Engine is next door to me.
So, are you a part of the cruise line entertainment, or is this a private cruise like like
Right.
the Joiner buys the ship and stuff?
Well, no, I'm the headline entertainer. They call us We Fly On and Fly Off.
Hmm.
Sometimes we'll stay 2 weeks, sometimes we'll stay 3 weeks. But this week I'm only staying 1 week. It's the Princess the Princess Majesty. That's what I'm on now. And
Okay.
depending now the ship that Tom joined them, they go on Carnival, but them wild crazy people on Carnival.
Right.
And
Right.
on this ship, we medium, we're
You're
not wild or
just
crazy.
about here.
Right. Right. And if you're really old, there's a ship, I wouldn't say the name of it, but it was made in Holland. There's a
Oh,
ship.
Yeah. We started out on one of those years ago.
Where the midnight buffet is at 7.
Right.
The average age of the kids club is 48.
So AJ, let me just ask you: are you also in the clubs? Are you back out traveling and besides the cruise ships?
Yes, I do the clubs. I was in Dallas 2 weeks ago, and I'll be in Chicago at Damon's.
Oh,
Damon has the Zanies, I
Riddles,
think he does. And so
Riddles.
I'll be at Zanies in 2 weeks. And then in 3 weeks, I'll be in Vegas. And the reason being because the CDC is not letting entertainers
Hmm.
off and get right back off and get back on another ship. They're
Right.
not having that. So
Right.
if you get off a ship, you're supposed to quarantine for 14 days before you can get on the next ship. I'm like, I ain't got that kind of money. So I'm out
Right.
hustling.
Right.
I'm doing the shit. Yeah. So
Uh,
I'm actually doing land and I'm trying to do more land gigs anyway.
yeah, and get your feet, get your land legs back under you.
Right. Get my land legs back. Different kind of crowd. How you
Okay.
been doing?
I'm good, and we're following the news and everything, and so this is what I want to, because you are on the ship. I'm not sure how things are, in terms of getting your news and information. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to talk what's going on, topical news wise, and this is really interesting. AJ, are you a sports fan?
I'm a
Okay.
huge sports fan.
So this is perfect. I thought you were, but I just want to make sure. This is absolutely perfect. Did you hear about Aaron Rodgers? He's been benched because he has the vid. He has been he's been
Are you
diagnosed with
serious?
coronavirus. Yes. So that's the first thing. That's the
Why?
first thing. But not only does he have the coronavirus, it is now the NFL Network has just revealed that he has the virus and he never got vaccinated.
Wait a minute. I thought you had to be vaccinated. He didn't go like the brothers and get the fake Photoshop vaccination,
No,
did he?
no. He said he has been inoculated. When he was interviewed by a reporter, he said he was inoculated.
Wait,
And
wait a minute. That's what I'm gonna say next time the police pull me over. Are you intoxicated? No, I'm inoculated. Because I don't know what that means.
so what it looks like, AJ, is that he has this doctor, and they have been trying these homeopathic treatments to build up his antibodies, and it didn't work because now he's got coronavirus, and so everybody is going in on him. But there seems to be some question as to not only Aaron Rodgers, because he's one of the golden boys of the NFL,
Exactly.
his team, what they knew in allowing this, and the NFL, what they knew in allowing this. And Stephen A. Smith is just up to here.
Right. And you
He
know how
is
Stephen A can take it up.
so he has gone up to level 17, 18, I'm thinking.
Why?
Yeah. He
And it's
called
funny. I have not heard, I have you the first time I'm hearing this is from you. I'm still getting the Kyrie Irving don't want to get the shot. And he missing out on 14 million. He had the audacity to say he don't know what's in the shot. I said, let me tell you what's in the shot, Kyrie. 14 million. That's what's in the
That's right.
as soon as they give you the shot, watch your bank account.
Okay, watch it just go. So
Right.
Stephen A has gone up, and in today's edition of First Tech, he called Aaron Rodgers a liar and criticized him for violating the protocols for unvaccinated players. He also said Rodgers' deception hurts his credibility in other areas, and a lot of people were surprised that that Stephen A, he has gone in, like you said, on Kyrie and that, but he came down so hard on this NFL golden boy. And others, are they're kind of brought into Stephen A's show in order to be the counterbalance, so Stephen A can go
Right.
crazy and they can say this otherwise. But as you said, he has gone off on Kyrie Irving and other people for not doing this, and the worst part of it is that he's lied. He
Right.
has absolutely lied, and he has put people in danger. People,
Exactly.
players who have kids, even and even if they did know that he was unvaccinated, he did not follow the rules regarding
Protocol.
his contact with other people. He went to a Halloween party, and it's like, what are you doing?
Did he dress up as Colbert? Justin, that's COVID-19.
Okay. He tested positive on Wednesday and will miss Sunday's game against the Kansas City Chiefs. And as I said, over the summer, when asked if he was vaccinated, he said he had been immunized. And then he was referring to this homeopathic treatment that he received with his whoever his medical official is.
Oh,
It's crazy. So on top of all of this, AJ, now the CDC and the federal government now has allowed for children between the ages of 5 and 11 to be vaccinated, and a lot of questions
right.
by parents, because like today is really yesterday or today the first real days in which kids are being vaccinated, right?
Okay.
Between 5 and 11, and the Biden administration has announced 2 new vaccination requirements as of today. The OSHA department, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, announced that employers with 100 or more employees must require their workers be fully vaccinated by January 4th or submit to weekly COVID-19 tests. And this covers 84 million people. It also requires unvaccinated employees to wear masks in the workplace. And they have also, the Centers for Medicare and Medical Services, all of their employees now requiring workers at the facilities to also be vaccinated by January 4th. And if they don't, there's going to be major fines regarding how they're going to handle this, like thousands of dollars, leading up to millions of dollars if they don't handle this.
Right. See, I didn't even know that they didn't let no children on the ship this time. And I was like, why are there no children in the audience? Why no children? And someone said, AJ, because they're not vaccinated. And I was like, oh, so I didn't know children couldn't get vaccinated. You say, but now they can't.
Now,
5 to how old?
5 to 11. The 5 to 11-year-olds can now be vaccinated.
Okay.
So they're free if their parents, and there's a lot of question among parents, even those who have been vaccinated, a lot of question amongst those parents saying, I'm not sure I want my kid vaccinated.
Wow.
And it's a lower dose. It's not as much as we got, and all of that.
Right.
But you will see a difference probably if you are out at sea around Christmas, because you have to have your first dose and you have to wait a number of weeks to get your second dose. And so they're saying if you go this week, you can probably be fully vaccinated by Thanksgiving, but for sure by Christmas.
So there'll be more kids getting vaccinated by Christmas.
Yeah.
All right. So I can
be able to get on the ships like you by Christmas. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to get in the pool because when there's more than 10 kids in the pool, the water changed color and it changed temperature. And I don't need that kind of swim. So it was cool this week because the water stayed the same color.
You are so crazy. All right. So I don't know if there are a number of trials, and it involves murder. One involves the murder of 2 white men in the wake of the Jacob Blake shooting in Wisconsin. Another trial involving the murder of Ahmaud Arbery, and also the white racists who are on trial in Charlottesville, Virginia. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the crazy case in Wisconsin. This is when the 17, now 18-year-old boy, Kyle Rittenhouse, is on trial for killing those people in the wake of Jacob Blake's shooting. So this judge is a piece of work. First of all, he would not allow the men who were killed nor the man who was wounded to be called victims.
The judge wouldn't allow it.
The judge would not allow this. This is how the case starts. Okay.
See, this is sad.
So check this out. So they set the jury. They get all of these white people on the jury, and one juror has been dismissed in the trial today after he told a joke to a deputy. The deputy told this to the judge, and now he's been booted. And the joke was about the shooting victim, Jacob Blake. What?
He's over there telling jokes about the people who got killed.
Yeah, he's telling a joke about Jacob Blake, who was shot and wounded. He's the guy that got shot and wounded. Right. Got shot in the back.
Exactly. That's the one who was shot and wounded.
Right. Okay. So The male juror made a joke about the shooting while being escorted to his car, according to the judge. He said he was telling a joke. He told the officer, he made a reference to the joke, and they told what the joke is. So the joke is, why did it take 7 shots to shoot Jacob Blake? This is what the juror told the sheriff.
I don't mean to laugh, but when you start off a joke with why did they?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a good joke.
Well, the rest of the joke goes because they didn't have 8 bullets.
Wait a minute. Okay. Now I don't mean to laugh at the fact.
I know, but as a comedian, for
you
to tell it is one thing. For a man who's on the jury connected to this crime.
No, nobody should tell it.
Come on.
And so they kicked him off. And he probably wondered. And he was like, why did they kick me off? It was a joke. Why did they kick me off? It's a joke.
And even the judge said, I think it suggests some sort of racial bias.
But you know what? This kid, I can't believe they raised almost like $1 million, didn't they, for his defense on a GoFundMe?
Over
$1 million. How do you shoot and kill some people and raise over $1 million? That's what I couldn't get. Why are people still?
A lot of it had to do with the NRA and those organizations, and a lot of them were some of the alt-right groups, because they were saying that he was defending his territory.
Sybil, let's go. What's going on?
It's not his territory. He didn't live there. And number 2, no one had a gun but him.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty interesting defense.
It's crazy. All right. So Yolanda says we should move to what's really going on. And we do have a question of the day. This is related to the headlines as well. This American Airlines, this has to do with the Southwest Airlines pilot who is under investigation for assaulting a flight attendant over a mask. The pilot under investigation for assaulting a flight attendant over a mask. So AJ, you're one of the funniest and one of the most lighthearted people I know. But what makes you mad enough that you want to fight? And especially as you're getting older.
Well, number 1, he couldn't fight. The flight attendant was a woman, okay? And he had just left his wife and he couldn't say nothing to her. And he gets beat up. So he took it out on the flight attendant because he didn't have nobody to take it out on.
Right.
Now, was the flight attendant not wearing a mask or what? Was the flight attendant telling him to wear a mask?
Apparently, for over a mask. So I'm assuming I don't have that, whether she was or was not. And maybe Yolanda can tell us that. But this has to do with just the fact that it was a mask. So
this was the pilot. This is the pilot, right?
This is the pilot.
The dude who fly the plane. I'm sitting in there and coaching
with his co-worker who's a flight attendant over a mask. Whether you want to wear the mask or you don't want to wear a mask, you're required to wear a mask. Okay. So
right.
But is there anything, AJ, that makes you angry enough?
No, especially if I was in first class, I would have walked up and knocked on the door and said, y'all good? Because I don't know if you know, people on this plane got skin in the game. We got skin in the game. Because if he decided to get so pissed off he want to take the plane down, we got skin in the game. We all on the plane.
Okay.
So if y'all not good, I can get off and catch the next one.
Okay. We want to know before we go.
Before we go, is he good?
Y'all good? Because if you're good, then we're good. But if not, pull over.
You know what? I come to the realization, people are getting more frustrated for no reason. And I don't, it's funny, I was saying the other day, there was a time before the pandemic, I used to go, you know what? I'm not the smartest person in the world. We've all said that. I'm not the smartest person in the world. But after the pandemic, I'll be like, AJ, you could be the smartest person in the world. Because there are some ignorant people out there.
I know.
He's a flight. His whole job is to get the people from A to B safe.
Right.
That's it. So No, he's in the wrong. They should either fire him or they should whatever they do with pilots who get pissed off because people ain't wearing a mask.
I can't imagine. I find myself getting angry at ignorance.
Exactly.
I find myself getting angry at racism, and I find myself getting angry at a lot of the politicians and the crazy stuff they're doing in Washington D.C. But I can't imagine assaulting someone over this. So here's the story. It took place in this month, or in the month of October.
Let me
Inside.
ask, was it in Texas?
No, Mr. Smart Guy. It was in California.
Okay.
Inside the San Jose, California hotel bar. The flight crew was staying overnight at the hotel when the argument ensued regarding mask mandates. It's unclear precisely what was said that pushed the airman over the edge, but he was cited for assault and battery, and they are determining about charges. After catching this information, the airline said, last month we received a report regarding a crew disagreement which occurred while off duty during an overnight trip. Not who's going to stay in my room, not, my wife will never know, or your husband will never know, or,
exactly.
none of that. Just one more drink. No, that wasn't the argument. It was over the mask. And in the days following the situation, Southwest sent flight crews an email warning them crossing the line during the arguments, reminding them this behavior could result in termination. And so this was on Baller Alert, apparently.
This is on Southwest.
And it was Southwest.
Now, I would expect that from Spirit, but not Southwest. No, that's wrong. That's wrong.
So our friend Renita Plan said, don't forget, it's a pilot shortage and he won't get much done to him. And Southwest has already had, all those thousands of flights they had to cancel a couple of weeks ago, right?
They just canceled flight like it was a train or something, a bus.
Yeah, like, there'll be another one. No, it won't be another one. No. But Renita, while you're here, let me ask you, so, you did make that point about the shortage of pilots, but, we want to know from our listeners, what makes you so angry, or what could make you so angry that you would assault your coworker? We haven't, and here's the other thing. We have enough of those horrific office shootings, workplace shootings. People get mad, and if they're fired and they go in and they start shooting people who they say were, mean to them or whatever over the years, or just blind with anger. And
times have changed. Like I said, I have no clue why people. I don't know if the pandemic, I think, is causing a lot of pressure on people. The fact that they haven't worked in a long time. But I think people are getting way bent out because of something that happened. I was quarantined with my wife for 19 months. You think I got mad? You ever been around my wife? Do you know what 19 months of her stories are like? I could go and shoot up a lot of stuff. One story lasts a month. I had to listen to 19 stories. And I still ain't got mad at nobody.
That is hilarious.
I still ain't got mad.
Is wifey with you on the cruise? Because those are close quarters too.
Right. They won't let her come because of the pandemic. Thank God. I hope she don't know how to watch Zoom or whatever we're on. But thank God she's not on the ship with me. She likes to go out on those excursions and walk around and do stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Shirley Ann Tony Davis on Facebook said, don't you use your positivity on negativity, Sybil. It's not worth it. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's a great way to think of things. Yeah. Don't use your positivity.
Don't use your positivity on negativity. I like that.
Yeah. And Nikeo Tim says that everyone is on edge. Everyone, and says that on YouTube. Absolutely. I believe that too. We're all on edge. And there's so many things that have come out as a result. You said it's due to the pandemic and so many things, but anger is leading the way. I mean, just the fact that, everybody's angry about you wearing a mask.
Right. Right.
What?
It's funny. I love to wear my mask. I just feel like a broke superhero. I don't know why. I got like 3 masks right here. I don't know why I like to wear my mask. I just like to wear it.
I'm not mad at you. I don't mind it. I don't mind
Right.
it at all. And as a matter of fact, just to be safe, sometimes I put on two because of the other guys
You
that
do.
don't.
I
So I
don't go
got
that
one that
far.
starts up here and then the other one, and they're stacked on top of each other. But yeah, I don't mind it. I really don't.
I
Even when
don't
I
know.
go get my hair done, I have my mask on. She
Right.
works around it, but not
Right.
mad at it at all.
My wife being Asian, she had a mask 3 years before they even thought about
Right.
it.
Yeah.
She was always wearing a mask because she said germs,
Hmm.
germs. So I'm good with a mask.
I'm with
Hey,
you.
first time I ever walked in the bank and deposit money with a mask. I ain't never did that. I thought
and,
that was awkward.
and they didn't put their finger on the button or anything.
Right. I just thought it was awkward me walking in with a mask. Like, oh,
So let me
everybody
ask
good
you
with it?
this. Are they wearing masks on the ship on the regular?
On this
Everybody?
on
Mhm.
this ship, they're wearing masks. Princess, I was on Celebrity a week ago, and you didn't have a mask, but they didn't let us off the ship. Everybody was vaxxed. Everybody was getting a shot, but still. And then if people went on an excursion, they had to go with the ship. They couldn't just
Mhm.
go walking around. And that was like Celebrity does it there. But this one, it was like 1,500 people at my show, and they all was wearing masks. So I was cool with that.
That's really interesting. That's a good thing to know. Lester Bailey says Michael Jackson wore a mask years before the mask mandates. Lester says that on Facebook. You're right, and we are like, oh, Michael in the mask. AJ's probably saying that to his wife. Oh, wifey in the mask. But there's
But
something
but
to
but
it.
wait a minute. But Michael Jackson wore his underwear outside his pants, so you can't use Michael Jackson
Well,
for an
not
example.
everything that Michael did we could make sense of.
He had a gold pair of underwear outside his pants. So
And there were some things happening perhaps with his nose that, he didn't want people to be
and he
looking
didn't
at.
want people to know. Yeah,
But
that's the reason why.
that
And he
underwear
slept in
outside
an
the pants.
oxygen tank. He slept in an oxygen
Nigel
tank.
Tim says on YouTube, I wear a Michelle Obama mask and love the looks I get. I'm not mad at you.
Right, right, right.
I
I think
started to wear a mask for Halloween when the kids were coming through, and I was like, why? I got I got this. I was looking for something with a character or something,
on
Wonder
the thing.
Woman. Then I was like, no, I'll just wear my regular mask, and they were okay
I
with it.
just ordered one of those things where you talk and the mouth moves. Have you seen those?
Oh
Yeah. When I'm
no,
talking, the mouth on the mask moves. And I ordered two of those.
for you and for your wife.
Yeah, so it's a longer version on her. Why why mine's go up like this. My lips are bigger, but her oh, let me stop that.
You're so wrong.
You can get them on Amazon.
I'll be sure to look for that. I will. I have you always been as even tempered and happy for the most part as you are now?
You know what? I've always been since I was 6, 7 years old. And you know why? And I always tell people that because I never wanted a bunch of money. I always wanted to make people happy. And that's when I was young. So
Hmm.
I never worried about money because I never wanted money. I'm like called a rich monk. I just simple parts of life. And that's what I told somebody the other day. I said, Bezos, that dude who runs Amazon, has $200 billion.
Right.
If he gave everybody in the country a million, he'd still have $298 billion.
That's
My
crazy.
thing was, I said to somebody in my audience, I said, what if I gave you $200 billion? What would you do? You should have seen the frustration on his face. He didn't know. I said, but watch, if I gave you $48, then he smiled. I said, you know what to do with $48.
I
So I've
pay off
never
a
been stressed.
bill.
Well,
Put something down on
but
my table.
I can go get something to drink.
Right. Yeah.
So,
And buy that lady a drink over there.
right, I got $48. But 200 billion. And you know what? I met a guy, and this is a lesson I learned real quick. I met a guy, I called my friend in Detroit, and I said, what you doing, Penny? She said, oh, I'm still working for this old guy. I said, that old guy, the man with the money? She said, yeah. He said, she died, but I still work at his account, his estate. And I said, how much did he have? And she said, 139 million. And I said, let me ask you a personal question. Was he happy? And she
Right.
said, Jamal, He was the most miserable person you could meet. He
Oh,
died sad, miserable, and angry. And I said, how could that be? She said, because it wasn't enough. How can 139, and I didn't think about it, $139 million, he was still angry, upset because it wasn't enough money. People got to learn. It's not about money, how much money
wow.
you have. It's not about how much money you have. If you are happy with, set your bar. Like,
Yeah.
I set my bar. I'm good. Bills don't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm about to file bankrupt for the 15th time. I got Trump calling me. No, I don't. I'm not filing
Wow.
bankrupt.
And can I ask a really crass question? Did he leave her anything? Did
You
did,
know,
did
he
the
did. He didn't. She's managed the business so well. And
wow.
I don't. And the kids aren't fighting over it, so I don't know how much he left the kids. But
Mm-hmm.
I just thought about that, having 139 billion. I
How,
mean million.
and that's not
And he
enough.
died sad. He was sad. She
Wow.
said he was the saddest person she could ever been around.
Wow.
So
That's
that
sad.
$48, people better be happy with that
Okay.
$48.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, AJ, let's talk about our newsletter, the What You Need to Know newsletter. I hope that you are subscribing and you can catch up when you get
I got,
back to land. But definitely, every day we talk about subjects that are that pertain to the African American community, and we talk politics and we talk health and wellness, and of course social justice, and we have a coronavirus column, but also we have the addition of some really great people who are writing and submitting stories, and the latest partnership that we have made are with the women of the Black and Missing Foundation.
mhm,
For we're talking about how people of color don't get the attention that they deserve when they go missing, as we
right,
had not too long ago with the young white girl who was a social media influencer killed by her boyfriend apparently, and now word is that he committed suicide following this. But at any rate, we wanted to be one of those people, one of those organizations through the What You Need to Know newsletter to share the word and to get the word out about our Black and Missing, and especially
okay,
as we are going through this. So every Thursday we do have, unfortunately, there's more than enough information to get out there. But on this Thursday, we are looking at the missing Jashia Moore. She is a 14-year-old girl. She's been missing since October 14th from East Orange, New Jersey. She is 5'5" and 135 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, shoulder length hair, and no glasses or contacts. So she was last seen at a deli. It's called Poppy's Deli on Central Avenue in East Orange, New Jersey. And the part of the problem is that our police don't often give enough attention to this, because
right,
they like to categorize us as runaways and having some
right.
other issues and things like that. But that's not the case for most of these young people, and their parents are looking for them. And we had our initial issue with the Black and Missing Foundation last week. It's been 5 years since his mother has been looking for her daughter, and she just disappeared. And talking about this and what is going on now. This case, with the circumstances regarding her disappearance, the family suspects that the stepfather, who is a
Okay,
police officer, may be involved in her disappearance, and the FBI has joined the search for Jashia, I'm sorry,
the shy.
14-year-old Jashia, and we do have her picture in the newsletter, and so please take a look at that. Disappearing from
Okay.
East Orange, New Jersey.
Now, are
So
they blasting it on the news there? I mean, they should start blasting it inward so it can spread outward. I mean,
yeah,
even in social media, they should start blasting it. I mean, you're
exactly.
right. I hear people going missing and it become like headline news.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, a 4-year-old vanished from a camp and they found her 4 days later.
right.
How can you not find a teenage sister that's gone missing for that long? I
Yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
don't understand.
We're talking 3 weeks now, and Jashia family's still looking for her. But the other part is that the people that make the decisions to publicize that, to put it on
Right.
their newscasts and what have you, they're looking at children who look like their nieces, their nephews, their sons, daughters,
Exactly.
brothers, and what have you. And not enough people of color are in those positions to put the word out. So we're doing, what we can in that respect. So,
Right. Well,
um,
I hope she shows up somewhere
yeah,
safe.
yeah.
I don't care. I don't care what happened. I hope that's the big thing. I hope she shows up somewhere safe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely right, AJ. And that's why we keep putting the word out there and want people to get involved in this. One of the other things that we do talk about in the newsletter is about politics. I don't know if you heard, but it was not a good day for Democrats on Tuesday for election day.
What happened? I heard something. What happened?
So they were hoping against hope, even though historically, when the presidential election happens in 1 year, say so,
Okay.
like in the case of the Democrats won in 2020, the following year is more of a bellwether, gives you an idea of how people are feeling about the person or the party that's in office and holding control. So as has happened in the past, like when Donald Trump won in 2016, the Republicans lost the Virginia gubernatorial seat in 2017. When
Mhm.
Joe Biden won in 2020, the Republicans won in Virginia Tuesday in the state of Virginia.
Oh,
Terry
that's
McAuliffe,
what.
who was a former governor, was running again after, he could not run in successive terms, but he's running again as a Democrat. And he lost to this guy whose name is Glenn Youngkin. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that he got Donald Trump's endorsement, but he backed away. They
Right.
called it
He
kind of
didn't want
like
it.
the Heisman. He
Right.
just kind of give him the pushback. Although he accepted the endorsement, he never appeared with him or anything like that.
Right.
And so, but a lot of it had to do with the schools, what parents were involved in the schools. And because that was a question that they said that Terry McAuliffe got in trouble for, which was like parents don't have a right or they shouldn't be involved in the school curriculum. What did he say
That,
that for?
that's the Democrat guy said that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so
See.
the Republicans went in and, that was all she wrote. And as well as the fact that, they thought that Glenn Youngkin was bringing up critical race theory, which everybody knows not taught in our schools. No,
Right.
it's not.
See.
But he also, what he wanted to ban, he wants to toss out the book by Toni Morrison, the book Beloved. He wants to toss that.
Right.
And so a lot of folks got upset, but not enough to not vote for him. And a lot of people
Wow.
who
So
voted,
the Republicans took over that
they took
in
over that
Virginia.
seat. And a Black Republican woman is now the first woman of color to be in the lieutenant governor's seat in Virginia. Her name is Winsome Sears.
And she's
She's
Republican, right?
Republican. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, let me ask, what do you think they have a play on? Because the seats that's in the House or the next election, you think that
Mm-hmm.
has a very important play on it, huh?
Yeah, I do. I really do. And so the Democrats are really scurrying, trying to figure out how they, kind of, first of all, how they get these bills passed that are so important
Exactly.
regarding,
That's
the voting rights, policing acts, as well as the president's plans for Build Back Better and all of the things, and try to bring the Democrats together because right now a lot of this infighting has to do with the fact that they can't even, work together and all the promises that Joe Manchin made to get Republicans on their side have fallen far short of any
wow.
promises. So they got a lot of work ahead. They have a lot of work to do in order to come back. And it's not looking good. Right now, it's not looking good for Nancy Pelosi to get the Democratic majority in the House so that she'll be put back as Speaker of the House. And it's not looking good for the
Oh, so she
50.
might not win Speaker of the House.
Right. Yeah. And that's what,
When do
and
they
that's
vote for that?
They will vote after they come back after the election in November of next year. So they'll vote for that in January of
Okay.
2023. And Kevin McCarthy in California, he's the California congressman. He is the minority leader in the House, and he's really angling to get into that seat.
Oh, and he's Republican.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm
And
not.
and And it's also, it's up in the air about the Senate as well. So that's going to be interesting.
Well, they can go back to your friend. You know, that's what you
Well,
want to do.
that's what he's hoping for. But don't give them to me.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I'd rather take a windstorm than a tornado.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
You know.
Um, so here, check this out, AJ. This is a story that one of our social justice writers, Coy Malone, has in today's newsletter, and this has to do with parents of Black students at a high school in Nassau County, Florida, upset that their children were suspended for fighting a white student who sent them a racist video, but the students in the video weren't touched.
They
They weren't
discipline.
disciplined at all. Nothing.
So in other words, it was okay to send the black kids a racist video, but it wasn't okay for them to retaliate and say, you
Right.
know,
Right.
because and the reason they retaliated because they knew if they didn't, nothing was going to get done if they went and told people.
That's
They
right.
said, let's take this. Let's take this in our own hands, because if we tell whatever teacher, whoever we tell, nothing's going to happen.
Right. And they
I bet they won't send another video.
Let's hope. Let's hope. The white student wasn't in the video. He sent it to several black students, two of whom play for the school's football team. A fight ensued. All students who fought were suspended for 5 days, but the white students who made the video not punished at all. And a parent of one of the students asked to remain anonymous told a local news station that the black students were defending themselves after being bullied and targeted because of their race. And the fact that this kid made this vile, nasty, distasteful video and still walking around campus while you have kids who are confronting him to defend themselves, and they're now sitting at home, and that
Right.
is the problem.
Now, you know what the problem is? They got suspended for 5 days, but on the 6th day is the football game. So
That's exactly right. And so
they
they
got to
wanted,
come back and win the game.
and so the kids were being told, you have to behave or else you won't be able to play. They were talking about taking a knee. They said, no, you can't do any of this to say how angry you are. So they had
Right.
them by the short ones.
I don't know why I thought that was about to happen, because
You were absolutely right. You saw it.
I saw it come. Yeah, they need these people to win that game.
They need those Negroes to win the
To win
game.
the game. Right. And then maybe y'all, on Sunday, y'all can go back on suspension.
And they said if they did not play and if they did something to not win the game where it looked obvious, they said that they would be punished with forfeiture of the entire season.
No, see, like I said, it's everybody,
And
I saw
those
some.
kids are playing to get scholarships and
Right.
everything else.
Like I said, it's pretty sad the way the world is coming. I mean, and I'm not going to even say what I think led to a lot of this, and then the pandemic hit, but it's a cause and effect thing. So some things was happening before the pandemic, and I think helped created this. In other words, the separation of the country.
Yeah.
And like I said, I
Your
don't want to
friends.
point fingers, but
Mhm.
it's gotten large. The little problem became large because of
Oh
the
yeah.
pandemic.
Oh yeah.
But
It grew out of control, and so now
right.
here we are. What started during the last administration
It-
was
See, I didn't want to say that.
it was bubbling, but
It was bubbling,
yeah.
and I think it's the only way it's going to get better is for people. And I don't want to bring Dave Chappelle in it, but he's in a hot mess and he's sensitive about it. I know Dave very well, and he's very sensitive about it. And this is the first time I've ever seen him go, I will talk to them, or I'll police, because he usually don't have no apologies. He usually don't make. But I think he realized how sensitive everybody is,
Yeah.
not just the community, but the fact that everyone is outraged. And like you said, small stuff could happen racially and people ain't saying nothing. But
Right.
then you have him talk about something like what he was talking about, and now he's in major trouble. It's I don't know. Hey, that's why I'm on a cruise ship. Y'all need to take a cruise.
Just chill F out.
in my little bitty house, in my little bitty bed,
In the aquarium.
in the aquarium. This thing is so small.
And let me ask you this.
There's a mirror on the bathroom door, and the mirror swung open. The mirror swung open last night. I thought a black guy had broke into my room. Because I wish I could show you. Look, it's a mirror on the door.
You are so crazy.
Black guy
AJ, they got to do better with your accommodations. So, make your wife make them get the better accommodations.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. They treat an entertainer like this. I'm here with the rest of the people.
You're part of the crew. That's not no.
That's exactly where I'm at.
No.
Yeah. So anyway.
All right, it's time for entertainment. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on. And I do.
No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What'd you say?
I didn't say nothing. No.
Yes, you did. What'd you say?
You said, let's talk about entertainment. And I said, I'll kill it. No.
Oh, dear God.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Okay. But let's extend the conversation a little bit about Dave. Have you spoken to him since all of this blew up about Netflix?
No. And sometimes I would talk to his bruh. But I haven't talked to him, but I've been looking at him real close, and I've been seeing how, and I know how he's very sensitive. And he wants to just make people laugh and have a good time. And he's being creative. And you know what it was? I thought, and it worked, because I personally didn't know the closer was about to come out. I didn't even know it was coming out. But because of the community getting so upset, I said, oh, the special is out. I got to watch it. So I thought it was a marketing thing to just add a little and have people know about the special so they can make more money.
Right.
But he didn't know it was going to be that much of an effect.
Right.
He was just trying to get the marketing of people, because any press is good press. Negative, and when you're doing a special, negative press is good press, because it tells. And I told somebody, they said he has a special. I gotta watch it. Everybody was like, I gotta watch it. The people who didn't watch it, they didn't know it was on. Now they know it's on.
Now they know.
He lost this movie. There was 4 people that was going to give him. He had movie deals for his personal movie. All of them are gone. They're off the table now.
Wow. People don't want to do business. They don't.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it, because I'm really a woman. You know that. I'm Cheryl Underwood. You're gonna get me in trouble.
You are the funniest woman I know.
Well, at least you didn't say ugliest.
No, I would never say that. You're a fine looking woman.
So I love the community.
And so does that have a chilling effect as you are working and some of the things you might go just push the envelope a little bit and have a chilling effect on how far you might go because of the things that are happening today?
Well,
because you're not that kind of guy.
Exactly. I've always been the comedian. If I do gay material, the gay people are going to love it and have a good time. I do material that people love to do,
Right.
And I never tried to push the envelope. I don't know why. Because especially on these ships, you have to be politically correct.
Yeah.
And so I never pushed the envelope. I see why people do it sometimes. And I'm one of those comedians, because I like all comedy. I see what's going on and I understand it, and it makes me laugh. And that's the key point of a comedian.
Yeah.
But, so no, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it. AJ, let's talk about, I know this is a subject that's really important to you. This is what has you staying this entire time to listen to this story. People Magazine has come out with the next Sexiest Man Alive issue.
Oh, Pam, let me unbutton this button. Let me unbutton this button.
So, AJ, Jamal.
Have you looked at the list?
Yeah, I thought I saw your name as the sexiest, funniest man alive.
Oh, Tasty Chocolate. Is that what they had? Tasty Chocolate.
Is that your club name?
That's my club name, Tasty Chocolate.
Not sexual chocolate, but Tasty chocolate.
Tasty chocolate. That's my dance name.
Well, last year, as we
Who was
know,
the sexiest man last year? Who was the sexiest?
you had to ask Michael B. Jordan.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute, is Michael B the one that's talking to Steve's daughter or no?
Yes. Yes.
That's the one that's talking to Steve's daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's
Wakanda
the
Forever. Yeah. He's
the sexiest man.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was. But now he's been replaced. Despite my suggestions and fervent suggestions that Michael
who
B.
did you
Jordan
think?
stay.
Who did you want?
Well, I wanted Michael to be for a second year.
Okay.
But they chose Captain America, Chris Evans, the actor. So are you a Marvel Comics fan?
No, I'm not. I
Okay.
don't read comic books.
So,
but I'm gonna Google him. I'll Google him.
okay, yeah. So
Is he sexy? Is he sexy?
No, not so much to me. But I'm not their audience either, because I'm an old Black woman, and they're trying to get the young Black girls,
Right.
young white girls,
Right.
in that. So,
Wait a minute.
I don't know if you can see this.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. Is that him?
Yeah. Can you see
He
him?
look like a judge.
Well, here's the deal. They said he was supposed to be the sexiest man alive last year, but you may have heard that he was one of those guys that sent a picture of his junk, and it went.
Okay, I know that story.
He was that guy, and so they said they
that
didn't.
story.
So they
He took a picture of his junk.
and put it on his Instagram or something, and so people said they didn't want to touch that, so that's why they didn't choose him for last year.
I remember that story, and they didn't vote for.
Yeah, right. So,
Well, let me ask: Do you think he's sexy?
no.
No. I'm saying Bruno Mars. How come they can't pick Bruno? Do you like Bruno Mars?
I do, but his sexy is a different kind of sexy, I guess, than that whole,
Sexy.
Yeah, well,
Do you know who his parents are? Prince and Michael Jackson. Look at him real close. You're gonna see Prince and Michael Jackson. That's his mom and dad.
AJ, people want to follow you on social media. Thank you, Mrs. Davidson, on Facebook. So she says she's a longtime fan, and you always make her laugh, and you have not changed, and you never will. How can people follow you?
I don't want nobody to follow me. I'm the worst person. You know what's so funny? I was about that. I got to up my social media game. I wouldn't tell you this. I've been doing comedy for 35 years.
Wow.
I got 33 people following me on YouTube. I'm not even averaging a person a year. Go to my YouTube page. You say, AJ only got 30-some people.
AJ, they got people to help you with this. And that's the crazy thing. You have this incredible studio and space, and you can do all kinds of great things, and they want you in their lives, and we need your comedy.
Well, tell them to go to aj.myspace.com. I also got a Yahoo email.
And your AOL Messenger too. Don't forget.
You know what? Tell her I said thank you. I'm gonna do my podcast. I'm gonna up my game, and pretty soon. I was actually pitching your show to some people with money, and I'm serious. Yesterday, I was pitching your show because they need a show like yours, and they putting their own network together. They're gonna be like a Netflix. And I was saying, y'all need to talk to Sybil. She has a great show and great people on it, and it'll up your game because they wanted to get George Wallace's own show, and but George. It would work well because you have a show,
right?
And that would be great.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. The check is in the mail, as we like to say, AJ. Before we close, I thank you for that. And before we close, I do want to share with you Yogi's jewel for the day. Freedom of thought is a sacred gift given by the Creator. Embrace free thinking. That's you.
I like
Embracing
that.
free thinking. Yeah.
Right.
Embrace
That's
free
pretty
thinking.
cool. I love that.
And I love you. I thank you so much for joining us. I know you got all this stuff going on, but I so appreciate your coming on and joining us. And I hope that it won't take another cruise for you to come back on and join us.
I'll be back on anytime you need me, and my sound will be right next time.
Bye,
I'll
my
work on
friend.
it after we hang up.
I appreciate you. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you.
Everybody, the great AJ Jamal. We'll figure out some social media platforms for him that where we can follow him.
And I'll pay him. Right? You're right. Thank you very much. I had fun.
Thank you, sweetie. We always have fun with you. We appreciate it. Bye, everybody.